y'all, it's Pam at Pink Dragonfly Wings here with you for another video today. I hope everyone is having an awesome day, and it's finally getting summer here, so it's warm and nice, and I had my last day of physical therapy today, and everything is just going well. So what we're going to do today, here we go. I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute, but here is what we're going to make today. And I said last time when I made the video with Gail's hidden paper clips that I was going to do another one because Ceri Griffiths, also Ceri the Crafter, also did a video from inspired by her, and so I'm gonna do mine a little different, but they are inspired by Gail and by Ceri. So what I'm gonna do is here are the ones that I've already made. These are my little prototypes, and I see I'm gonna have to put my glasses back on. So and these are different sizes. Now, that's why I wanted to show you this paper. This is a paper pad that I have had like forever and a day. I had intentions of using this when my granddaughters were little, and that went right out the window, and this turned out to really not be any of their style anyway. So, but anyway, I have this beautiful pad of paper, and so I thought, well, I'll use this to make some of these bookmarks. So I ran across and I started looking and everything. And I wanted to show you a page in here that I chose to use simply because I will not. I apologize for the glue and yuki on my hands, but well, maybe I don't have another one. Surely there is another one in here. Maybe I missed it. Oh, it's right there. Okay, so these are borders, kind of. Well, it's a full page. It's a full 12 by 12 page. But you could cut them across apart and use them for borders, and that's great, and that's cool. But I thought, okay, I'm going to use these to make these hidden paper clips. And that's what I did. I'm going to turn them over so you can see the backs, and you can kind of see the papers. Okay, so this one right here is this paper. Let's see if I can do this. This one was this piece of paper. This one here is this piece. This one was this piece. Yeah, and that was the top one up there, and then this one is the one on the bottom. Okay, so don't I guess the idea and the reason for me telling you this is that don't be turned off by papers that when you first look at them you think, oh, that's not going to work, because maybe it will. So you just have to try it and see. Now, the page that I'm going to use today is also from this paper pad, but it is more, and I think there's one in here of these too, but it may take me a minute to find it. This one right here, and so it's not directional. It's got these little sun type things on here with this little tiny bit of glitter in here, and I thought those would be pretty. This would be pretty easy to adapt to almost any journal. So that's what we're going to do today. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off. I'm going to pull this out. Yeah, I'm going to pull this out just so I can show you what I did, because I've already prepared, so you didn't have to watch me cut and do all of that boring stuff. So I am going to show you, well, how I did this. But let's look at these little paper clips. And you'll see up here. So if you have your, I usually have a piece of paper up here that I use for that. But if this is your journal page, you can put this right here on the top and have a hidden paper clip. Cool. And so we have these. Let me move this piece out because it's kind of hard to. What in the world? Oh, a sticker got loose and stuck to the board. Okay, exciting. Okay. So this one has a little cluster on it. Now this one I thought was kind of cute because it's kind of narrow and skinny, and I had a hard time finding anything that would fit down in here that was bigger than a ticket. So I used one of my Tim Holtz guys, and I put him on here, and he slides right down inside there with his little hand sticking out over the top, and I just thought that was so precious. So that one, and then this one has a little paper doily with a real doily on it. It's done kind of mainly, I guess, in purple. And then we have a little pull-out tag here with some writing space on the back. And put that right there. And then we have some mushrooms with a little skinny mushroom tag. After I put this lace on here, I thought, well, that was really kind of dumb because now I closed off part of my pocket. So I had to make a little smaller, oh, that one's kind of coming up a little bit. So let me stick that down because I will not remember to fix, well, I can't find it now. There it is. I will not remember to stick that down later. So do this one right here. So get me a paper napkin. Okay, and then it just slides right in beside the piece of ribbon. This one is not really in my colors. I don't do orange well, but this fits perfectly. It's one of those little cigarette cards, or this is garden flowers. Picture cards can be obtained from tobacco at 1 penny each. So you get these in your cigarette packages, or used to. I don't know if there's a date on this or not. But anyway, it fits and the colors just match so well. So I put that in there. And then our last one here is just a little doily with some decorations with a little flower tag on the back. Nothing fancy, no big deal. So anyway, this is what we're going to make today. Now these are going to be a little bit different today because this was patterned more after Gail, Agnes Lolly. I'm sorry, I can't say your last name, Gail. I apologize. I am so sorry. But hers are made a little different. And she made hers using book pages, and they were awesome. They were beautiful. So I just wanted to try this out to see how it does. So there we go. That's those. And what we're going to do when we first get started, we have our 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And I'm going to cut it off of the bottom because this is kind of geeky. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut and make this 10 inches. Is that right? 10 inches. Let me see if I wrote it down somewhere. Of course I did not. Anyway. But yes, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so these are the length of the paper here. Okay. So we're going to cut 2 inches off here. And I'm not going to do that right now just because I have to go to my cutter and do it and all. But you're going to cut off 2 inches here. Then these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's try to lay them out. So there are going to be 6 of them across here because you've got 12 inches, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So you can get 6 and then turn this little piece around. That's why this non-directional paper works so well. That was a little tricky on the ones I used that had the straight lines already made. This one, it's not going to make any difference because this looks just like this. So there we go. So that's what we're going to do, but I've already cut them and everything and ready. And so get yourself it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be two-sided because this side is going to go in and we're not going to see it anyway. So, and this is just regular scrapbooking cardstock paper, just regular paper. So I'm going to put that down here, but I did want to show you how I did it. So we've got these 6, and then in here we have one more, that's 7, and we have our little paper clips. Those are some little tags that I made to use. And we've got our 7 little paper clips, and we're going to get started. Now your stripe, I guess that's a stripe, your strip is going to be 2 inches wide by 10 inches long, because you cut 2 inches off on one side of the 12 by 12. So 2 by 10. And then we're going to get our scoreboard out, and my scoreboard is right here. And I have my little one, so we can use it. And we are going to lay this on here. I take my glasses off again. Sometimes I can see up close and sometimes I can't. And it might be easier to see from back on the white side. So we're going to have our paper here. We're going to score at 2.5. And then we are going to turn it around and score at 3. Okay. Now if you have a long scoreboard like this one, you can do them without having to turn it. You can do this one at 2.5, this one at 7. Okay, and so we're going to have 2 creases, 2.5 and 7. This one is a little longer than this one. And I've already scored all of these, so you don't have to sit and watch me score. Let me put that back down there. Oops. And we can do what we need to do. All right, so there we go. And let's start here. Now, on our long side, this is going to fold down this direction. So you see all of this white's going to be covered up. We can cover this in this direction. We're going to pull this one up this way, and that's going to make a little pocket right here. Okay, so we'll have a little pocket. Now, what I'm going to do is take all of my strips. Well, I may not be able to do it with this cardstock's a little thicker, so I may have to do it in parts and parts. But we're going to put a little, let me get my hole punch here. And we're going to cut just a little thumb hole here so that whoever is using this particular piece will realize that's a pocket. I think that's the universal sign for a pocket. All right, and we're putting this thumb notch on the longest side where we scored at 7. So we're going to take this and we're going to go ahead and put these in here too. You can kind of mass make these, and you know, it works pretty well. I mean, why would you want to sit and make one when you can cut 7 out of the same piece of paper and have them all done? So there we go. So on our long end, we have our thumb notches. So we have our 7 thumb notches. All right. Now you're going to need a hole punch, or I use my crocodile here, and I just use this. Just make sure it's got the hole punch thing here. So we're going to fold this over, and on the short side, where the short side is, the opposite end of where we just made our thumb notch, right here, we are going to measure. Put my glasses back on. Tell you what, I wear them out, putting them on and taking them off more than I do wearing them. And like I said, this is 2, so I'm going to mark right here. This is 1 inch. That's right in the center. Just put a little pencil mark right there. And then we're going to turn this. I'm going to move these first. Turn this, and we're going to put this barely under. You're not going to punch a whole hole. You're only going to punch a half a hole. So we're going to put it in our hole for our punch. If you can see that, I think maybe it's only a half a hole. All right, so we have a little half moon hole here. Now when you open it up, it's a whole hole, but here you have a half a hole. Okay, that's going to be very important. So let me real quickly fold these down, and we'll punch our hole. That little hole is where our paper clip is going to go. Okay. And let's see. Oh, well, duh, Pam, it's the opposite end. So there you go. You have a thumb hole, so it isn't hard to figure out which is the other end. Sometimes I just don't know about myself. Okay. Other end. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this one is 7. All right, so let's put our, I think I can kind of eyeball this based on this little thing here. And so we're going to punch all of these little half holes. Okay, hang on. Holes a punching, holes a punching. And I'm not 100% accurate in the center department, but close enough. Then measuring them all. Okay, then we're done with that. All right, so now we have these little jobbies. Let's get all these little nubbins out. Put those in the trash. And we'll get this. Now we're going to take a paper clip. And I'm just using the regular office size paper clips here. And that one really didn't get in the center. So, okay, so we're going to put this. Now, let's do it right here. Put it in here like this, and the inside is going, the short side of the paper clip is going on the inside. The long side of the paper clip is going on the outside. So this will give you more clean room when you get in there. So let's put all of our little paper clips in there. So you're going to poke the whole thing in there, clip it on the front, and push it down. Now don't push it down all the way. We want to leave it up just a little bit. So if you can see where this crease is here, I am going to leave mine about up to that little crease. Okay? Because we may want to put a dangle or a piece of ribbon or something else in there. So we're going to leave it up. Okay, then we're going to come in here. We're going to get these other ones. I think I might have been better off measuring my little holes because some of them are kind of cattywampus, but that's okay. My whole world is kind of cattywampus, so alrighty, and we'll just slide this right in there. Remember, the little short side of the paper clip goes on the inside, and the long part of the paper clip goes on the outside of this little hole. Okay. Put this one in here. And our last one. This one must be the one I measured because it looks to be pretty centered. Oh, goodness. Okay. So now we have all of our little paper clips in here. We're going to get our glue. Put these back over here. We're going to get our glue. And we are going to glue the top down to the middle. We have a little flap up here. We have a longer flap down here. And everything is going to glue to the center. So we're going to start here with our paper clip. We're going to make sure we get lots of glue around our paper clip. We're going to go around the edge. Glue it down really nice, really firm. And we're going to fold this part down here. And be very careful with your paper clip at this point because it still wiggles a little bit. So until the glue sets, you want to make sure that you really be careful with it. Okay. And then we're going to take this part on our longer piece down here that has the thumb point in it, and we're going to put our glue right down the side, fold this up to meet, and you've made your little pocket. Okay? Let me hold that down just a little bit. Make sure that's all creased really nicely and the glue is made compact and firm. And there we go. Okay. Now, if you want to ink, you can do that. I usually at least ink the sides just because I don't like that white showing, but I'm not too worried about it. If you really want to ink all the way around, you really need to ink. This pocket needs to be inked before you glue it down. So let's show you. All right, so we're going to take this. Well, let's fold this up first. Crease that down really nice. Okay. And we're going to go all the way on the outside. No need to worry about the inside. And I'm a pretty big inker, so most of the time I'm surprised I didn't think to ink that one first, but I didn't. So it's okay. Not everything in the world has to be inked. So do this one on the bottom, do this one on the top. Okay, now we're going to glue our paper clip. Make sure it's got plenty of glue around on the paper clip. Go down the side, down the edge, or the bottom. Glue it down really nicely. And then fold this down even. Make sure your edges are even. Make sure you have a little bit of paper clip hanging out there. Okay, then we'll do this side of the bottom pocket. I guess you could put a little glue there if you want to. And then we're going to fold it up, hold it down, and we have our little pocket. Okay, see our little pocket here is going to fit right here. Okay, there you go. All right, so we're going to make sure this is down good. We really want to make sure our paper clip is good is good and tight, or it'll come undone. Okay, so here we go. Paper clip glued down good. 3 sides, all in the center. Fold over. Oh, we nearly lost our paper clip. Okay. Fold it down. Okay. And we'll take this one. Glue 3 sides. Fold it up. Again, I forgot to ink. Let's ink this, and then I can ink the rest of it. Okay. And I kind of like the fact that the white paper inside is there, because it shows me when I've gotten my paper lined up, if there's a little white edge right along here or here, then what that tells me is that I didn't get my paper lined up. So it kind of is a little bit of a guide that I can, you know, kind of watch for and help myself not to have it crooked. Yeah, and y'all really need to go check out Gail and Ceri the crafter, Ceri Griffiths, and his channel is Ceri the Crafter, and check out their things. They are both awesome. So check them out. If I knew how to link, I would link them down in my description box, but I can type the words in there. I just don't know how to make it where you can click on it and go there. So that kind of eludes me a little bit. So if somebody out there knows how to do that and can give me computer lessons on how to do that, that would be totally awesome. Let's pull that out just slightly. Not that much. Slightly. There we go. Okay, make sure that's down good. We will do and you want to be kind of careful. I kind of got a little wild with my glue right there, because the more you glue out towards the center, the less room you're going to have for your little tag. So that means your tag's going to have to be a little smaller, which is not a big deal. It's just something you need to be aware of. If you glue that a little too close, of course, y'all know, y'all have glued and cut just as much as I have, so I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Just something to remember when you're working on it. Okay, now we'll get us another one, and we'll go ahead, and I think that I am going to go ahead and do all of these now, so I don't forget to do them, because I can ink everything else after I get finished. I just can't do that. And it's not that you can't do it, it's just harder to do. So, alrighty, here we go again. Do our paper clip around the top. Fill in the bare space. Don't be chintzy on the glue, because you really do want it to stick. And then there you go. Make sure it sticks down really nicely. Come down here, we'll do this side, and this side, and fold that up. There we go. I got a little heavy-handed with the glue there on that one, so I don't know why I put that up. Trying to be neat. All I did when I inked was the little thumb hole thingy, so I think every one of those little circles is crooked. So my advice, measure your little holes up here to make sure they're in the center. Otherwise you'll have a cockeyed hole up there with a paper clip hanging in it, which doesn't bother me, but it might bother some people. Okay, we'll fold that down. Okay. Oh, my glue came up in the middle of my paper clip. It's going to clog my hole, my paper clip hole. There we go. Alrighty. We're going to go down on this side, and this side. Fold up, hold tightly. Ink around the edge. Okay, so anyway, it's just crazy around here. I am so grateful that I do not have to go to physical therapy anymore. I loved going. It made me feel good. It has helped my knee. It's just the process of having to go. And, you know, when they came to my house and I had home health, that worked really nice because I didn't have to go anywhere. I could do it in my pajamas. And so, but that is over now. And so between my husband, those of you who may or may not know, my husband fell last April and broke his hip. And that was in April. And then in June, I had my first knee surgery. And we did physical therapy together there for a while. And then I had my second knee surgery then in December. So, and we only moved here September. We moved here in September of the year before. So it seems like ever since we've been here, all we've done is be in the hospital or in physical therapy or having some kind of surgery. And so we're ready to get out there and do something else for a while. So we're both excited, and he's doing really well, and mine is healing. And my left leg that I had done in June is doing really well, and the other one's coming along. You know, it just takes a little time. So, but they said I was doing really good at physical therapy, and they felt okay with me being dismissed. So that made me feel better. Alrighty then. There we go. We have all of our little tags made, all of our little paper clips made. We have our little tags already cut. Now these little tags, and I thought that I had written on one of these what these measurements were. And I guess I ate it. So I don't know what I did with it. But anyway, remember, this is 2 inches by 10 inches. Score at 2.5 and at 7. And then put your thumb hole in, punch your hole up here. These little cards are 1.5 inches by 4 inches, and they fit in here really nicely. Now, because I got a little crazy with some of the glue, I may have to shim a little bit of some of them down a little bit, like that one doesn't seem to be wanting to go in there, but that's okay. I cut them all anticipating that they would all be exactly the same, and nothing is exactly the same, so I'm going to trim just a little tad of that down, and that should fit in there. I'll put that right there. Sure I will. Okay, so I don't know if this is the one I had it in, or I have forgotten now, but it is going to fit in this one. And I like for them to kind of stick up a little bit so that it kind of covers everything. If they're too long, if you want it, fit goes all the way in, it's going to fit right about there. I have my tool here. Well, that is just too thick. I usually use a dental tool, a broken dental tool. I had a friend of mine that worked for a dental office, and when they break them, see, this one here is broken, but that's okay. It still suffices for what I need. Then I can pull that down there and pull that up, and it works just fine. There we go. Okay. So then you can decorate your tag however you choose that you want to do it. Now I have some, let's see here. I have some flower stickers. Not a lot of them are really thin, but like this one, see, would fit on there just nicely. So I think I'll put that one on there. And this is the hardest thing I think I do, is separating these little doojobbies from that plastic. Get my tweezers so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. And then if you want, you can take your little corner punch and round your corners and make them look a little nicer, a little fancier. And I like to round the ones on the bottom because it does kind of seem to me to help them go down into the sleeve a little bit better. And then we will ink around here. Goodness. I think it's about time for a new foam pad. And then that will slide right down in there. Okay. Then you can decorate the front of this. I wouldn't decorate the back. It's going to be on your page. It's going to be hidden on your page here, so you're not going to see that part. But you could decorate this part right here and do whatever you want to with it. Put some, however you want to decorate it. I am making these for my stash, so I'm going to do the flowers and put the flowers on there. Did I ink the back of that? I did not. But then I'm going to not decorate the edges, the fronts, simply because they're going into my stash. And so I don't know right now what the book, that the journal that this particular paperclip is going to go in is going to look like. And I don't want to be restricted by what I've put on here for it to be limiting. So you know, that's just a personal choice, personal preference. But if you want to, you could do some, well, let's see where, some neutral colored things. I have lots of little doilies here. And I use doilies a lot. Let's see. Oh, that one's kind of got a little, oh, that's pretty. A little dimension here. It's got a little rose or a three-dimensional flower in it. I don't know if you can see that. But And I do have a few that I have dyed, but that one doesn't really look very good on there. We could put this one on here and decorate that. That looks pretty. Yep. But I think that I like this one on here. I really kind of like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there because that's pretty neutral and can be used in pretty much any book. So I'm going to put it on there. And there we go. See if we can get that about even. And then if you need to, you can go back and add a little glue here. I just wasn't real sure where it was going to fit, so I didn't want to put glue where glue didn't quite need to be yet. So you have to kind of play it by ear. Do it as you go. And then if you wanted to later put something in here that's going to kind of blend with the colors of your journal, you could put some kind of little flower in here, or a little bead, a little rhinestone, a little pearl, something like that, and dress it up a little bit. You could put a little word if you wanted to. You could certainly do that. So let's put that back over there and see. Oh, nearly lost one. Let's see. Now, I have some white ones in here. Now, that's a pretty sort of a, I guess it's sort of purple, if it will fit on this little card. I will have to trim it, but what I have to trim is the edging. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but this flower has a little clear edging around it. It's kind of like they're fussy cut out of acetate. And so when you take that and cut it off, as long as you're not cutting off the flower, then there's not really a problem. So let's put this little pink one on here, or I guess it's more purple. And I don't think it likes me. Maybe it doesn't want to leave its acetate home. I don't know. Come on, goodness gracious. There it comes. I got it, I got it. Okay, so then we're going to take this and very carefully put it. Okay, come on. I stuck you down before I was ready. And we're going to come around. And I have to kind of twist it just a little bit so that my flower is completely on the card. There we go. That works. And actually, by the time we get that put down, there is a very small little corner right there, little piece, that needs to be clipped off is all. So we'll do this one with a different rounder, make them a little bigger. I apologize for the jet outside. We live pretty close to an Air Force base, so we get lots of pilots practicing at all hours of the day. So, okay. Now I've got a little spot right there, so I'm going to put a little bit more around so that it looks like it was supposed to be that way, which is kind of what I do when I make a goof. Okay. There we go. Now let's see if this one, probably should have tried that before I did it, just to make sure, because that one, the one a while ago, didn't quite fit. So let's see if we can find one that it will fit. It will go in that one right there. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now we've got a little cute little purple flower on here. So let's get a little piece of, let's see, here's some purple sari silk. We can cut just a little piece off of this and twist this and put it in this little hole from the, I put mine in from the back just because I like the way it looks better. Lots of people I see put them in from the front. I don't really think it matters. It's whatever you like best. Okay, come on. We're going to fold that up in there and pull that down. That's one of my ones that's a little cockeyed. So what I might could do is get a little something to put in this corner so that it doesn't look quite so crazy. I have some of this stuff, and since we have the little gold centers of our sun, let's put one of these up there. But you only have 3. Let's cut that one off, and we'll take our Fabrifix glue and put this on. Okay. And we'll put that right up in that corner. And that kind of makes it not look quite so uneven. So there you go. And then you can decorate this with stickers or gauze or doilies or whatever you want to decorate them with. So I'm going to do the rest of the little flowers here, and then and then I'm going to put these in my stash. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please give Ceri the crafter a look and see how he did these. He used some printed paper, so his are very different than mine. His paper was also double-sided. So the good thing about using double-sided tape is that you can have this little paper clip have one pattern, and this one could be the other side. So that works. But I'm not going to, and I won't put all of these in the same book, so it doesn't matter that they're all the same. So there you go. We've got 7 little tags made like that. And we've got 2 kind of decorated. And there you go. So if you like the video, please like and share and subscribe. I need all the wonderful people out there like you to join me and help me along this path. If you have any comments or suggestions or anything that you think will help me do better, then please make comments in the comment section. If you have a few minutes, check out my online store. I have a Shopify store, and it's at www.pinkdragonflywings, all one word, a Z on the end of wings.com, and see what we have. We might just have something in there you need. So there we go, and thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, be creative. Thank you. Bye-bye.